Hi Cancer, and welcome to your mid-month reading. This is for anybody that has their sun, moon, rising, midheaven, and or their Venus in the sign of Cancer. For either Western or Vedic astrology, doesn't matter. However, if you're cross-watching or out of curiosity, you just clicked on this video to see what I was talking about, welcome, and I hope you hear all that you need. Hopefully October hasn't been too hard on your heart, right, and or your mind, but I mean, any pain that you may feel or have felt is temporary, and you are well on your way to being on the other side of things, okay, so long as you believe it. But let's go ahead and get into your reading. The signifying energy that came out for you for the mid-month is the Page of Swords. Okay, sorry, out of focus. But the cruise of what hounds you or is keeping you bound at this time, you have the Ace of Cups. Now, what is real about the situation that you're going through or any energy you might be feeling, you have the Four of Pentacles. But what is wrong about it is you have the Devil card that came out. And interestingly enough, when I was shuffling your cards, a lot of cards came out and the Devil was one of them. And I was trying to fight it so hard and put it back into the deck like, nah, this can't be real, like this isn't real. But sure enough, he wanted to be seen, okay? Now, where you need more information, what came out was the Death card. And then finally, at the very least, where you will find yourself at the end of this month, energy that will surround you or ways to overcome any of these circumstances you might be dealing with. What came out was the Two of Pentacles with the Ace of Swords, wanting to clarify that, okay? I feel like I'm hearing talk is cheap. So if people are trying to come to you and try to come up with these unrealistic plans or ideas, or, you know, it's kind of like they're very good at getting your hopes up. That's what I'm getting with the Page of Swords and the Ace of Cups. A lot of the times you fall into these situations where you're dealing with people that are very good at getting your hopes up, and then it just all comes crashing down. Very literally with the waves that you see in this Ace of Cups. That is the cruise that hounds you at this time. I feel like a lot of you guys, your spirit is broken, either by something that you may have said yourself, and then you know you're feeling that internal guilt from that, or by the hands of somebody else and their harsh words, the way that they've treated you and or spoken to you. I feel like some of you guys are definitely dealing with a broken spirit. But I mean, like, if not a broken spirit, some of you guys are really just, it's like you're very cut and dry with the things that you are saying this month. There is no love behind any words spoken or that are coming out of your mouth. The Page of Swords is very harsh, very strong air energy. You might be dealing with an air sign or somebody that has very strong air placements. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, okay? So just watch yourself and your reactiveness around them this month. Some people might truly just be trying to get a reaction out of you, okay? Now, what is real about the situation, what came up was the Four of Pentacles. This is very stingy energy, somebody holding back, either material possessions and or just communicating is being held back, like you can't get them to open up to you no matter how hard you try, and or vice versa. This can also be somebody that kind of has been watching you and they're wanting to come in and offer you something, but not wanting to bother you because they feel like you're trying to put yourself in a better place at this point in time, you know, so they don't want to worry you with their issues or with trying to bring up old issues, okay? Four does relate to the fourth house, which is your natural ruling house, Cancer, and you know it talks about your home, your upbringing, the house that you grew up in type of thing, and the type of home that you're wanting to create. It can also talk about social conditioning and or just the conditioning from the ways that you brought up and how that affects you in your relationships and your ability to have strong unified relations with other people. So that might be what is real about the situation that you have to look into, and or this can be somebody else that again you're dealing with, and that's something that they have to do. But if this is not about love, and this is about somebody getting your hopes up in the workplace, then what's real about this situation is scared money won't make money. You can't expect to see an increase or get a promotion if you don't feel like you are worthy or capable enough of handling your responsibilities to get yourself there, of putting in the work required to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? If you never ask for other ways for you to be a productive member in the workplace, to kind of contribute to the team, because the 4th house is also about like teamwork, again, like home, family. But if you never ask about the different ways that you can contribute to a team, or express your dissatisfaction with the way that the team environment has been working or not for you in the workplace, then you're never gonna see any improvement in that area, okay, in that facet of your life. If you know that you've been doing a damn good job, but you're not appreciated in the position that you are in now, but there are other departments that you can move into, unless you ask, it shall not be revealed and or given to you. You know, that is what is real about the situation. I feel like what is false about it or wrong about it is you're allowing the devil to kind of trick you out of something that is rightfully yours. That's what I'm getting. You're listening to the thoughts in your head that maybe other people are better than you, are more qualified than you are for the job or your dream job that you truly want, and so you're not necessarily going for it because you believe that you aren't good enough, okay? So again, your self-esteem might be here. Also, if not that, then in the workplace somebody is definitely, you know, acting like this behind your back but trying to smile in your face, and so you need to be very careful about this energy. For some of you, if this is about a relationship, having that broken spirit in a relationship, having that loss of faith in the relationship, again, being very cut and dry, being very argumentative with the person that you might have love for or that has love for you, I feel like a lot of you guys feel like you're stuck in this relationship, but that is not the case here. Okay? Nothing is ever, again, permanent. So if you want to see changes, then where you need more information is just understanding what is required to see those changes, what you'll have to sacrifice and or give up to have that happy home life, to allow the relationship to be more healthy, for it to grow into something of substance for you, and potentially, because this is a young child here, for like your child involved. I feel like a lot of you guys are trying to keep these issues away from your children if you're in a toxic situation. But because the devil's not in the what is real, I can't necessarily say that you're in something that is toxic, but definitely in something that you feel a strong tie to. But yeah, a lot of you guys are not wanting to affect your children in any way. A lot of you guys, if you get in arguments with your partner, you're trying to let them know that it's not healthy for them to listen to and or hear the disagreements that you're having within the home. Because this isn't the best four card. I don't know how I'm trying to word that, but like the 4 of Wands is at the bottom of the deck along with the Wheel of Fortune, okay? So things can certainly change for the better, but this is of course a more positive omens essentially, right? So that is here, but you have some work to do to get from here to here. And again, it's all going to come down to this Death card, Scorpio energy, how much you're willing to lose to gain. That's really how it goes. And if you look, a lot of people don't like the Death card. A lot of people don't like feeling like they have to sacrifice their perceived idea of stability or their perceived idea of freedom to get what it is that they so desire. But if you look at like where they are standing and like what is behind him, you have to kind of pay the troll to get to the other side of the bridge, you know? And the other side of the bridge, you can clearly see the dawn or the sun rising, the dawn approaching is what I wanted to say, but I don't know if that's like correct terminology. But anyway, where you're at right now, it's barren land, so it's not, you can't harvest anything from this position that you're in right now, so you might as well give up all that you have, all the ideologies that you have had, you know, all of the behaviors that you have been engaging in, all of the clout that you may have had in the position that you've been in. Maybe a lot of you guys don't want to start over, and that's what's hurting you in your workplace. You're like afraid to start over again. You just feel so connected because there's been so much that's been invested into it. But I mean, hey, you're never going to see better or be able to earn more if you don't give it up, okay? And be very innocent. Like, I always relate the death card to that one picture of that little girl that's holding on to this little small teddy bear, and then you have Jesus on the other side of her that's like, but you know, give it up to me because I see bigger for you. I have better for you. Just trust and believe that if you give over what you so cherish, that I'm going to bless you beyond measure. You just don't even know what I have behind my back. But you have to have that mustard seed of faith to kind of believe that, again, things can progress to something that is more healthy, to something that can flourish, to have better days altogether. If this is more like emotional and you feel like you've been depressed or you just haven't had like the greatest mood, again, back to that broken spirit type of thing, that things can be better. You know, he had that jumbo sized teddy bear behind him, but you'll never know, you'll never realize that unless you sacrifice what it is that you have to let go of, okay? Let it die. Transitions are happening all throughout life. A lot of people only think that you live to die and that no other major transitions happen in life, which is a lie, because when you go from like your preteens to being a teenager, there's a transition there with having to go through puberty and then being more responsible for yourself, like guys, as far as having that self-control sexually with your desires, as far as girls and having to manage a period, you know, and being able to keep up with the pads, the tampons. Sorry if it's too much information, but just like being very realistic about it. Like, this is what happens, you know. It's a change that has to occur in your life. You can no longer just be childlike in the way that you move, in the way that you operate, in the way that you dress either. It's going to require, as you start budding or growing breasts or having an ass, that you are wearing clothes that are more form-fitting for you. You can't continue to wear what you wore at 8 years old at 14, you know what I'm saying? And then as you get even older, when you graduate high school, okay, that's another major transition. What are you going to do after that? Are you going straight into the workforce? Do you already know what you're passionate about and you're going to build on that? Or do you need to go to college to get more discipline and to learn more about your craft that you might be interested in, that you might need a different type of certification for in order to practice? Okay, that's going to cause for a transition. And then when you're outside of your parents' house, you're so used to being under them and having that allowance, but then understanding that you have to change the way that you regard money and how responsible you are with your finances, and then coming into a partnership and then having to care about somebody else, especially if you've been a single child, you know, and then having to give love to somebody else and struggling with that and that facet of your life. So there's always transitions when you go from just you and your man or you and your woman, same-sex relationships, doesn't matter. You guys want to adopt a child or you're pregnant, then you're going to have to give up thinking and being so selfish to being so selfless and caring after somebody that's going to be very dependent on you for a very long time, you know. There's always transitions happening. So just understand that and embrace that more. And then by the end of the month, just understand that really any decision that you make, it's up to you. It's up to you in the way that you perceive the changes that you're going to have to make, be it positive or negative. Like, your thoughts kind of create your reality. That's what I'm getting by the end of the month. So you can continue to be negative and pessimistic and argumentative and passive aggressive and closed off here, but you're going to continue to go into that same cycle where you're only attracting those types of things that take more from you or are that divine mirror and reflect that back to you. Being in more negative relationships with other people, never being able to get your way, not seeing that raise and or promotion again. Or you can change your ideas and your expectations and your strategies and see more successes, okay? So that's what I have for you guys. As far as your chakras are concerned, your root chakra is underactive. Your throat chakra, just be careful with that because it can tip over and be too overactive, okay? Your heart chakra is underactive though. And if I didn't say, your solar plexus is here and underactive. But as always, heed your own personal intuition, so make sure your third eye and crown are in alignment above all else. If you want a private reading with me, hit me up in my email in the description box below. As well, give me a thumbs up if this resonated. Share this with your friends and family, and do subscribe for more.